Two-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty, the golden voice of Neal Ruhl, and the iconic Terry Foster. Sit back and relax. It's time for your daily dose of Big D energy.
Hey, it's me. That's Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you. The winter storm is afoot again. I feel like we do this every other day now.
Well, I like the fact that sheets of ice aren't falling down, so hopefully the power will stay on. It just came back. But again, welcome to the wonderful weather, February, folks.
Yeah, absolutely. We are in here. We're getting it in, locked and loaded, ready to go for another week of action. Happy to have everybody. We have the many moods of Sam Flannel that we will discuss. The roller coaster that is the emotion of Sam Flannel and Michigan basketball. We have Spenmo Raxter, the depleted emotion of Michigan State basketball. The Red Wings, the Lightning, everything to go along with it. And we'll get into it coming up. The Red Wings thing. Certainly in a couple of minutes, but I want to let everybody inside on the roller coaster of emotion that is Sam Flannel.
Can I just... Okay, guys. Hunter Dickinson's three-point shot, I saw it yesterday. I'm going to say, and for whatever else, watching that, and I had the game on. We were playing our Sunday sand trap, playing our indoor golf, and I was watching and saw them stick around, and at the end of the game, and like the fact that whoever kept it in bounds, falling out of bounds and threw it back, that was one of the best. That was a Steph Curry three-pointer, and it was money. And hey, we say he gets a lot of smack here, and you guys get it, but Dickinson stepped up in that three. Was that, Sam? I was going to ask you. That's why I wanted. Was that the biggest bucket of Hunter Dickinson's Michigan career right there?
Well, without a doubt it was. That was, for all that I have said about Hunter Dickinson this season and how the season so far has been a disappointment, Michigan was about to lose to Wisconsin at home, a team that I despise, those rats from Wisconsin. And it was one of those games where Hunter Dickinson played well for the most part, but he had stretches where he sort of disappeared. But just when I was about to go scorched earth on Michigan, Hunter Dickinson makes that shot and totally redeems himself. I apologize for saying on this show, F Hunter Dickinson. Hunter Dickinson just had his Michigan legacy moment. And for all the crap we say, Hunter Dickinson has led the team in scoring and rebounding for 3 consecutive seasons. And now they're in the driver's seat to make the tournament. And don't let this team get in. Hunter Dickinson's playing well. Kobe Buffkin is coming of age. Jet Howard did not even play in the last 2 games. So this is a dangerous team. And that was...
Here we go!
Hey, that was amazing. And you know what else? You know what else quiet is kept? Hunter Dickinson's a 40% three-point shooter this year. You're damn right he is. Hunter Dickinson is just fine. He is now in my good graces. He is one of the better Michigan basketball players of the past few years.
Ever.
I wouldn't say ever. I'll tell you what, though, if he comes back...
he's coming back. Yeah.
So am I hearing, like, tournament bound?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, they were tournament bound anyway, D.
I don't know about that.
But you said that they were having trouble, but this sort of solidifies.
And Mike G says that Michigan going dancing. They were never not going dancing. So they could lose the next 2 games.
We brought it up throughout the year that they were looking like they were in trouble.
No, they're never in trouble.
You even said it. Hey, you even said at halfway through the year. You also said they'll come out of it because it's Michigan and they'll get the rub. But they needed this. Right? They needed this just to be able to get all the pundits to be able to make sure, because they can go back to this game.
No, they were, what were they, 11-8 going into that game?
They were, I believe that win makes them 11-7.
11-7.
10-7.
Okay, so they were 10-7. Yeah, they were never not going.
I don't know about that.
They were never not going. No, it's not, because it was at home. But let me tell you this, though. And I was laughing with Sam Flannel about this. Now, so I believe they go to Illinois and
Yes.
Indiana to wrap
Yes.
up the season. If they win in Illinois, though, that's considered a quad 1 win. A win at 10-8 in the Big Ten, Illinois, becomes a quad 1 win. The win at Northwestern was a quote quad 1 win, which is laughable.
Yeah, they're second in the Big Ten,
Laughable.
but that's not a quad 1 win. Pretty soon you're going to be saying that win at Indiana that they could possibly get isn't a quad 1 win because you're allergic to giving anything that's Big Ten related credit. You just are.
Am I?
Yes.
A bunch of 10-8 teams? And no, it's Sam Flannel. It's laughable they're going to get 9-ish teams in the tournament. This Big Ten.
They get 7 or 8. It wouldn't bother me. They're going to get more than that, but I think 7 or 8 sounds about right.
And that is laughable, dude.
That's all right, but that was still a great moment for me. I watched that whole game from start to finish, and I was so downtrodden, and then Hunter Dickinson saved the season. I'll tell you what, if Michigan makes a deep tournament run, we're going to look back at that Hunter Dickinson shot. Legendary, ice water in his veins. The leader of 3 consecutive Michigan basketball teams. And you know what? They're good. They're dangerous.
It looked like he hit the old proverbial 2-outer on the river, Neal. Right?
Right.
You're holding the pocket queen, or he's holding the pocket queens. You're holding the pocket kings, and then the queen hits the river, and it's night. That's what that shot looks like. I think Pete Smith nailed it. Right? Big Ten's mid. Right? Big Ten basketball.
No, not according to Sam Flannel.
No,
it's in its glory days right now.
But the records speak itself.
I love how you just put those words into my mouth. I never said that the Big Ten was glory days or vintage. I'm just saying that Michigan has 3 players that could legitimately are either stars or going to become stars. 2 of them are probably going to be first-round draft picks, Jet Howard and Kobe Buffkin. And their young point guard, Doug McDaniel, who in tournament basketball, you need point guard play, has had his 3 best games of the season. He's coming of age. This team is dangerous. Even Spencer Raxter admitted there are 3 players on Michigan that are better than anyone on Michigan.
I knew that was going to happen too with Flannel.
What?
I got the game flipped out. I'm looking through the box score and I see Dougie.
Yeah.
And he's got 17 points and no assist.
That's all right.
And I knew that Sam Flannel was going to be like, "We got the point guard now.
Do have the point
We got
guard.
the point guard."
Did we beat him yesterday? They won. He had some big buckets.
They won.
He's had some issues with shooting, and now he's been shooting a lot better.
Oh, I love it.
He's better than Mike Smith and Devontae Jones ever were right now. That's
no
a fact.
doubt. Yeah, no doubt. There's no question about that.
Absolutely.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Get involved. Robert Closia. The Mountain West Aztecs will go deeper than both Michigan teams. And Robert, I had that discussion with him as well. San Diego State would pound both of these teams.
Okay, but San Diego State is probably the best Mountain West team, or one of the best Mountain West teams, and they're perennial. I mean, Kawhi Leonard went there. They're a legitimate school. But as far as the other Mountain West teams, I don't know. That was such a satisfying win for me too, because I just hate Wisconsin so much.
I hate Wisconsin too.
We can all agree that was like Jake Paul losing.
Yeah.
Everybody agrees. Everybody hates Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And how about that too? Jake Paul lost, D-Mac.
He did.
And
Tommy
look,
Fury
we're
in
in
a
a time.
decision.
We're in a time and place in America where we've never been more divided. So it was great to see a sports moment bring everybody together. Because a lot like Duke, when Jake Paul loses, America wins.
All right. There you go.
So chalk one up.
You can see a lot of people.
USA.
A lot of people watch. Did you guys tune into that?
USA.
Did you guys watch that? Did you watch that? Anybody?
I did not.
No. It was on the after. I didn't either.
2 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. What a hotbed time for combat sports.
Yeah, for sure.
I was more dialed in to Fontana the last 2-mile race because my boy Kyle Busch. And you got a little get right on
Kyle
that.
Busch.
He was plus 1,000, but you got in on the live money line.
100%.
I like it. Yeah,
man.
shout out to the number 8, Richard Childress Racing. Kyle Busch, that's my guy. Rowdy, way to go.
CJ Schneider says they need to win 2 more games before they're locked. No, they're locked now. And here's how it'll go down, CJ. They can lose these next 2 road games. It's fine. You said they're what, 11-8?
Yeah, they're 11-7.
They're 11-7.
11-7.
So they would finish the season 11-9. The Big Ten tournament, and here's the little dirty side about these conference tournaments that get lined up. They're constructed so your bubble teams get a feeder game. So your Ohio State, your Nebraska, they'll get to play them. And then when they beat them in the first round of the tournament, magically they'll be like, oh, they got that win they needed. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter who it's against. That's the way this stuff works, guys. But they're in no matter what, guys. They're in. Just trust me. You can't. If you're going to get 9 teams in, like you say, from this basketball powerhouse Big Ten
Never
this
said
year.
that. Never said that.
Well, you got to be a powerhouse. You're going to get 9 teams in the tournament.
How many teams legitimately out of the Big Ten this
4.
year?
Neal probably says 2, right?
What'd you say?
Oh, stop it.
4.
You guys are
Yeah.
insane. And stop being all self-righteous, Spencer Raxter. Michigan State blows 2. They're worse than Michigan.
He said, where did you go to him? He said 4 teams in the Big Ten were going to make it. He never brought up anything. You need to simmer down there with...
Michigan State's going to get into.
His little Dickinson's getting all fired up over there.
Hey.
I mean, gosh darn it.
What did I say?
You're
Michigan
just
State
sitting over there
basketball
minding your own
is a good
business.
team. Yeah.
4 teams, right?
Yes.
I know that, but you're kind of set up on the show to be the guy who's more, I'm like, have the loser mentality. And Spencer Raxter, watching a 5-7 football team and watching a Michigan State team that is worse than Michigan this year, gets to be the beacon
How
of...
small is your ego that you have to go
what-
after me
what is
after I
that
said
all about?
nothing regarding any... I know they're a bad team. I know Michigan
And you
State
said,
football
and what
is a
have you
bad team
done,
this year.
Spenny? You sat there and
Yeah.
you just called it like you seen it the whole freaking time
Guys,
to everything else.
Michigan State's getting into
They
with that,
are.
with that
They
schedule
are.
that they have. They're 9-8. They got 2 more wins baked in. They'll finish 11-8. They're going to get credit with the committee for beating Minnesota. They'll be 12-8. And to the committee, they'll be 12-8. Though they'll be 11-8
Yeah.
on paper, and it'll be the same deal. They'll play the one that Michigan doesn't play, right?
But
They'll
do you
play
see
Nebraska.
how fucking stupid Michigan fans are? I say 4 Big Ten teams deserve to get in. He goes, but Michigan State football was 5-6.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude? That's
So
so
he just sort of like
ridiculous.
jagged on your program that you're having a little bit of a down, but the fact that you just sit there and call it like it is, he's all worried.
Yeah.
He doesn't want you to get in. He doesn't want it, and especially he doesn't want to face Sparty. That's what he's
I'm
telling
not
me.
worried about Sparty. People actually say that Jaden Akins is better than Kobe Buffkin. Laughable.
CJ Schneider says Sam Flannel was fired Juwan like a week ago. Did
And-
you say that?
I said his seat was very, very hot.
He said
but,
F. Hunter Dickinson
Yeah.
and fired Juwan.
but you know what? They just won 3 straight Big Ten games.
Classic Michigan fan.
3 straight Big
So
Ten
a
games.
prayer goes in, and now his legacy is cemented because a
Fairweather-
prayer
It's
goes
not
in.
a prayer. It's a clutch 3-pointer. Are you kidding me? It's not like it was from half
Watch
fucking
the
court.
replay. Throw it on the bounce. He had to fade a guy like this, and he threw it up. That's why I watched when he threw
Like
it. It
that's a
wasn't
40%
It wasn't
shot.
a kick out 3 like Klay Thompson
It wasn't
put
a
on
catch and shoot
display
3.
last night.
Yeah.
Fairweather.
He had to
Flannel.
thank God he was 7 feet tall or whatever, because he had to take it around a guy. And
CJ says Sam Flannel's such a fair weather fan.
Why am I not allowed to just call it as I see it? After those 2 terrible
We wish
losses
you
to
would.
Indiana and Wisconsin, I was angry with this team. I didn't think they'd go on a 3-game
Mike
winning
G
streak.
says Sam needs to tap the brakes. Legacy game, oh my God. Hunter statue be constructed right
No,
now.
I didn't
Will
s-
it go next to the left or right of Bo statue?
Well, Hunter Dickinson will obviously never get a statue, but the thing that I have to
Why?
ask...
He's mid.
Okay.
Hey, I think the boys.
Okay.
I see this, Jack. A couple of them. It's Flannel Bayless. That's what we got here. Flannel Bayless, starting young. Attaboy.
Rax says stop there, not dangerous. They had to come back and get a prayer to beat a 16-12 team.
Okay, that is true. That loss would have been terrible, but I would argue that it wasn't a prayer. It wasn't a half-court heave. It was a 3-point shot that swished right in by a 40% 3-point shooter. Clutch, Hunter Dickinson. Hunter Dickinson's 3-point shot gives me the big D.
Elgato with the first bozo of the day for Sam. Elgato, way to
Bozo.
go. That's like getting in first. I like it.
Peter Van Leerhoven says, Neal, why are you letting Sam control the broadcast? Are you not entertained, Peter? We're all entertained right now.
Entertained?
Are you not? This is it, guys. Like, this is broadcasting 101. When you're on a heater, you let the man go. And even, here's why I know it's great, Spenny. Even Michigan fans are like, bro, get this bozo off here.
No, Michigan fans aren't doing it. Chuck Brewer and his Hunter Dickinson hating ass is doing it. Embrace him. Embrace him.
Hey guys, no matter what, you know where Sam's gonna go because he's smart, and this I'll give him credit for, because even he knows he goes to Lady Jane's for award-winning haircut experience. He can't register, but you can also register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win up to $200,000. Yes, $200K towards your dream home. So get to Lady Jane's, walk in anytime, register, open 7 days a week. It's wicked awesome.
I love Woodward Sports sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
All right, we are off and running. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Spencer Raxter, Sam Flannel here in the building. Sam Flannel getting it in there. Ryan says Flannel is winning this one. So there you go. There's one. There's one. It's like prayers answered from Hunter Dickinson. You get one. And that is it. They were never not in. They were always going to be in. And I love that, too. You love that how he's, oh, Neal, you never. If you're going to get 9 teams in, Michigan and Michigan State have to be one of those 9.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Right?
Penn
Yes,
State and Rutgers have been playing above their heads, teams like that.
To get 9 in, you need 9 teams,
How many
Sam
teams in the
Flannel.
Big Ten?
What are they up to these days?
14, I believe.
Well, so who are the 5 that aren't in?
Nebraska, Ohio State, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Penn State.
There you go.
Despite the fact of what a great win that was over Wisconsin at home. They are 8-10.
It wasn't a great win. It would have just been a terrible, terrible loss. So it was a lot more relief than jubilation. I will admit that. Because not only is Wisconsin mid, but one of their best players got hurt midway through the second half, and I just can't stand their style of play. They never have any athletes. They just make everything ugly and muck everything up, and Brad Davison was on that team. So I always have hated Wisconsin.
Right. Everyone agrees about Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Like, let's keep it real.
I don't think anybody likes Wisconsin.
No. And
I like the cheese.
I like the cheese.
yeah, they got good bars in Wisconsin, too. Most bars per person anywhere in America.
It sounds about right.
And they are
Sure you're not
professionals.
from Wisconsin, Spen?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I do like my time and when I get to go to Wisconsin.
I've never been to Wisconsin.
No, a man like you would do very well there.
Yeah, cheese and beer. Sounds like
100%.
Sounds like a good place.
A bar everywhere you go.
Yeah.
A man like you would do very, very well there. And I think you should. I think you should go there sometime, Spenny. Red Wings, Saturday. And D-Mac, sad to say that I sent you a text, and I know you were wrapped up in it, because no one could get past the shot totals. My group of buddies tapped into the Wings game for probably the first time in a long time. Like it became priority viewing.
So can we, let's just start here. Right? I mean, everybody sounds like down in the dumps or whatever like this, that this was bad. Absolutely not.
And I'm with you.
Absolutely not. You want to start with the shots.
Yeah.
Right? You want to start with the shots. Well, what have I been telling you?
Please break it down for everybody. Please.
What's that?
Please break it down.
We'll break it down, right? So you're hearing the system, the 1-1-3, right? Which is forward, and 3 guys back. It's meant to collapse all 3 zones and make it a lot tougher to get the puck in the zone. But what it does is it collapses more to your net. So a lot of the shots are on the outside. It's not the first shots. It's the second shots and the rebounds and different things like that. It's blocking shots. It's getting in lanes and stuff and making it harder, right? What have we seen during the Red Wings winning streak? The way they played out west, came back, is they've been doing that. And if you look at the score, the shot clock, the Wings are getting outshot, right? But it doesn't feel that way in the flow of the game when you watch it. You
Bingo.
look at Tampa Bay, right? And I looked at and I was doing a comedy show. The game was on, but I looked up at the shot clock, and we were out shooting them 3-1 or 3-1, 2.5-1 most of the game. But yes, we had great opportunities, and it goes to show you, the B side of this is goaltending that I've been preaching. But I think what you said is the 1-1-3 shown in its perfection.
That's what the Wings are building
let's
towards.
Break it down.
Yes.
Tampa Bay, which remember, Derek Lalonde, our coach from that system, this is not even the first full season of trying to implement. So what do you have over there with Tampa Bay, who's won 2 cups, went to the finals, has been implementing this system ever since they lost in the first round after winning the President's Trophy to Columbus, right, is the buy-in. What you see is a team that continues to do it day, where they don't think, right? So what did you see the other day? Tampa Bay at the most optimal, playing the 1-1-3, and the Wings still learning, still getting there, but you see the difference between the top and where you want to be. Now, to get shut out at home when their goalie absolutely stands on his head, and there's some, when you're a great goalie, the puck bounces your way. It hits a guy. It'll hit you in the chest. It doesn't go in. That's what Vasilevsky has earned himself. You earn that by being that great. It goes to show you also what I'm talking about of the goalie at the next level that can win you a game. So if at the end of the day, Neal, I want you to look at that as that's a playoff game. What happened there is a 3-0. You're going to get beat when you get beat by a goaltender, when a goalie stands on his head. And then what did Tampa do? And this is the biggest goal of the game after having everything was less than 10 seconds in the second period left to make it 2-0 or whatever, where Tampa scored after the whole play had been down in the Detroit end. Those are things that you can't let happen, good championship teams, but along the way as you're learning, you will happen. So I look at this because this is what you want, Neal. Did the game against Tampa Saturday night, the momentum that you've been playing with and the confidence you've been playing with is going to continue over, and that's what you want to see. So you're just plug and play going into 2 back-to-back games tonight, tomorrow in Ottawa, which are the biggest games of the year. But coming off that game against Tampa where you were a little snake bit, you got your shots, you weren't rewarded. I see people in the chat thread say they're scared about these two games in Ottawa. Don't be scared, because if your team is what you think it is and you think it is a playoff viable team, then they go in here and get 3 out of 4 points. Right? These are the teams, right? Remember I said at the end of the year you hope you're playing the Ottawas and Chicagos and you win 2 games and get the playoffs? Well, really, these 2 games are right now, right? The proverbial 8-point games. If you can take 4, then that's 4 that the opponent can't get, makes a spread of 8. You can bury Ottawa with these 2 games. And again, but in saying that, if you don't play well and you don't continue to do it, because if you watch that game, the Wings were there. Like, they're playing up to the caliber of the top teams in the league. They just need to learn how to get over the hump, and that's what the learning is.
And my interpretation of it, D-Mac, was similar in that, because I was trying to explain that we were playing some cards that night with the boys, throwing back some bourbon and whatnot. And I was trying to explain to them, because they're novice hockey dudes, right? Like they tap in now because they're good. Like that's how 50% of people are. Yeah, that is cool. And so I was trying to explain to them like the fundamentals of it. Shots from the side as opposed to in the prime real estate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When you look at prime scoring chances, right, or the scoring chances or whatever,
in the
they
slot,
do one of the stats. That's where they expected the more to the 3-point. Hunter Dickinson's 40 shooting 40%.
Yeah, that was supposed to. Yeah, that shot was supposed to go in, according to Sam Flannel. He was counting on that shot.
And there's certain shots that you expect supposed to go in on the ice. But when you keep it, so if you look at it like everybody's coming back to the middle of the net and playing out, then you got 5 guys that you got to shoot through, and you keep it on the outside. If you're shooting from the outside, yes, you can get tips or deflections or whatever, but it's easier for a goalie and the best goalie in the league and the top goalies to make that first save. Right? So yes, that's why shots on goal can be deceiving a lot of the times. It's got to go with the flow of the game. Because if you went to the flow of the game, you would say that Detroit carried more of the momentum to that game.
Right.
And if there's a game, you're going to lose games you deserve to win. You're going to win games you deserve to lose. It's the ebb and flow of the season. What I look forward to is I think that they got a lot of confidence after that loss. Like, they're sitting in the room going, boys, we were there. I mean, this guy was awesome. Like, look at that. Like, you are like, yes, we played up to the champs and the guys. Like, Tampa's a team. Look at all the similarities. You know, the Blashiall's their assistant coach. Lone's our coach. The guys that we have there, Stevie, all this.
You know what I liked out of it, D-Mac? And there's two angles. There's a positive angle and a negative angle to it. Which one do you want, D-Mac?
Both.
Okay, which one do you want first?
I always like negative first.
You like negative first? Okay, so here's my interpretation of that game. They have talent on a level that we do not.
But they're supposed to.
And they're supposed to.
Because they're further down the road.
Exactly.
And they're at the end.
Vasilevsky's the best in the game. Kucherov. Like, I talk about Connor McDavid. If I could, and obviously with salary and age and stuff like this, he wouldn't go number 2 like if I were picking the player. But today, if I was playing a game today and I couldn't have Connor McDavid, Nikita Kucherov's my other dude. Like, that's who I vibe with.
That says a lot.
Yeah, that's who I vibe with.
You know what? Like, you gotta love Kucherov. Just give me the playoffs, baby.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love it, dude.
He's just like, practice, whatever.
He's far and away the best player on the ice in that game.
Talented.
Far and away.
So talented.
There's no discussion.
You forgot you got a guy like Steven Stamkos who, if you see the maturation of him as a leader and as captain, follows under the Steve Yzerman for them trope. Right, and it was great when Stevie was there and had some influence on him. But he leads like Stevie did, and he's still got one of the best one-timers. So yes, it shows you why they're at the top. Yeah. But it also shows you, just like with our Lions, how we look at who we want to become and how we're building. It explains why. So that's why I want us to get in the playoffs and to face a Tampa or to face a Boston and to have these experiences, right? Because to lose 3-0 at home, that was a good loss.
And all that did to me...
What was the positive?
Well, real quick, just to wrap that up. All that did to me was just reaffirm my stay the course. There's nothing out there in the trade... And I know there's questions, well, what can we do before the trade deadline? Nothing. There's nothing you can go out there to get that you can get basically for free, right? Because you don't want to dump any of the assets. So what makes you think you're going to be able to get anything of substance to get you to that level? There's nothing out there.
Not right
now. So I'm going to let 19 cook. Like, that's what I'm going to do. And say, hey, hats off to Tampa. They are on another stratosphere as far as top end talent goes. We are not there. We're not in the discussion. We're not even in the building. But that's fine. We'll get there, because the guy that made that is the guy that's here now. Tammy Chin said it earlier. Remember who drafted Vasilevsky? He was sitting in LCA that night. For me, D-Mac, here's the good angle of it, though, the positive angle of it. Because we talked about Kucherov and we're talking about the Lightning. They felt it. You could tell that was a playoff type effort from the Tampa Bay Lightning. They brought heat Saturday night.
You could tell how much it meant in reverse and how much of respect they have for the Detroit team because they came out to play. And now teams, like, they see you coming. They don't take you for granted anymore, whether it was the Dead Wings or whatever. That is a positive too. And you knew they were in for a game. And I've heard this all along when people talking about, are they going to make the playoffs? This I will agree with. Nobody wants them to make the playoffs because nobody wants to play them. They might be the most dangerous team as they get healthy, as they build towards the playoffs, if they get in.
Right. And here's the other thing, too. Like, let's go Red Wings Sparty on the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. And I love this. This is perfect. Just glad Meyer got traded so we don't have to hear local syndicates talk about trading Edvinson for him anymore. And let's go Red Wings Sparty and everybody out there,
you know what?
Remember.
The smart local syndicates would never say that.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, you guys are tapped into here.
Tap in here, yeah,
so,
exactly.
So you're not going to get any of that foolishness. We're not brand new to this. This guy knows a thing or two about it. I understand the finances of it. So between the two of us, that's a pretty lethal combination. The Devils, man, they got your boy team. The Devils are locked and loaded, D-Mac. They're a problem.
No, they
are locked and loaded, especially if they sign him long term.
Yeah, but that's fine. So that goes just to show you that, moves are being made and teams, like you would say that. So he is a free agent. It could be a rental, right? Did you think that they gave up a lot for him? No, not at all. The one that I was interested in, and if anybody saw this little side note, because I think it's a good caveat from the draft capital guy, if you saw Tampa make a move, Cal Foote to Nashville, the pay structure was similar.
Right.
Out of guys that are making the same, but Tampa sent a first, second, third, fourth, and fifth round over. And I said to Neal, I go, "What's this mean?" And you explained to me that the guy that they got back from Nashville is under club control, a restricted free agent, and arbitration rights, which means that they're planning on using him, and they got more value back.
Who's had big seasons in the past and is good. To whereas the young guy that Tampa sent over is just kind of like a guy.
But is that a lot, or is that something that we could see happen? Because a player in 5 draft choices, or is it not? Am I reading too much?
Well, the first round pick was a 2025 pick. It's top 10 protected. Tampa's not going to be picking in the top 10.
So again,
anyway.
it's a lot like
it was a lot. It was a lot. But they traded.
But is this more like what we see in football?
This was more of a baseball trade.
More of a baseball.
This was more of a baseball trade where, like, if you had a good GM and you were going to trade a Justin Verlander, and you had a good organization that said, "Hey, we're going to eat a lot of Verlander's salary to make him more valuable." That's kind of what they did there, just kind of in reverse, where they had the controllable guy that's good, you make the numbers match up, and they sold him for a boatload of draft picks.
Okay.
So that's essentially what they were doing. And what you should be doing the next time you go to LCA, perhaps, to see the Red Wings play, drink Cintron. It's an aspirational lifestyle beverage brand. They got all the sparkling flavored energy beverages and premium bottled waters. It's fashionable, functional, and fun. Premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and the non-negotiable great taste. Cintron is your top choice. So you know what? Why wait? Buy online. Go to drinkcintron.com. You can also catch it on Amazon. Then all you have to do is decide, am I going to do cranberry, classic, or sugar-free? Drink it. Live it with Cintron.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry. Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to WoodwardSports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to WoodwardSports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Neal Ruhl here for Custom Health Centers. Get your customized approach to weight loss. Our own Ermanni is in the mix right now with Custom Health Centers. He's down 15 pounds. Custom Health Centers, they've had over 20,000 success stories. They've helped many professional athletes lose weight as well. Lions kicking great Eddie Murray. Pistons bad boy Rick Mahorn. Ricky's down over 50 pounds with Custom Health Centers. He looks great. Great dresser, too. And the sweaters are looking he's sharp, man. He is on it. Start losing weight today. Call Dr. Jason in Custom Health, 844-789-8446. Again, 844-789-THIN. It's Custom Health Centers. Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Got a lot of Lion stuff to get into. This Jalen Ramsey thing is becoming a thing. I think Spenny is the one fueling it all.
Lions players are feeling it too.
I know.
Jerry Jacobs, the last one to try to recruit him.
People are getting on board with it. We will discuss. I want to because we can tie it into the Brockers thing.
Okay.
And we're going to get into that. I will. I want to wrap up this Red Wings discussion first, though. Your mom's favorite skater says Tampa didn't look so good against Pittsburgh when they had their second-string goalie in. They did not. They did not do the Red Wings any favors by getting cooked by Pittsburgh. But they're a team. They're on their own journey. They know what it takes. They know when to be there.
But
Big Vasilevsky's
so
fine.
look at it differently, right? Instead of what do they do in the past? They throw their back up like the Rangers tried to do the other night. Didn't play Shesterkin, so maybe the Tampa, it meant more to play and beat in Detroit. That's why they started number one guy, and they don't respect Pittsburgh as much. But no, to your point, they're on their path and the schedule of rest. But that's the odd, Vasilevsky's a horse. Plays 65 games a year.
Tammy Chin said that he cheats. He wears pads that are too big.
They all wear pads that are too big, Tammy. The equipment's way too big. All goalies cheat. That's just known. You just got to.
And they get away with everything too.
What?
They get away with everything too.
Yeah, absolutely.
When they chop you, it's okay. Because they're goalies.
Usually. Because you went in their blue.
Yeah, their little area.
You went into their space.
Yeah. LFG says, I'm here for the Michigan College baseball segments. I'll take segments never heard on Adam's show for 500. Break it down, Sam. College baseball started in full swing. Give me your early season returns on Michigan baseball.
I don't have any as of right now. Unfortunately, I will start paying closer attention when we get to conference season, and then I won't really start to tap in until Big Ten tournament and then hopefully the College World Series.
Who's your favorite player on the team?
I don't know if I have a favorite player. There's just so many to choose from.
They're like children.
Yes.
I get it.
How do I choose one?
Well, don't worry. You'll have an answer for me at the College World Series, right?
Absolutely.
Or the regionals, at least.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Probably the conference tournament.
When you tap in and become a huge Michigan baseball fan, and then you tell Spenny, suck it, Michigan State baseball sucks.
Yeah.
Hey, they didn't make a College World Series a couple years ago.
Couldn't care less.
I know.
Oh, my God. That is good. But, yeah, I mean, that's what it was. And they have Chuck wants to know, who's the Hunter Dickinson of the baseball team, Sam Flynn? Michigan baseball segment. Can we pull it off?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to.
Who's the Hunter Dickinson of the college baseball team, Michigan's college baseball team? I don't think
there is a Hunter Dickinson, because Hunter Dickinson is sort of this, I don't want to say larger than life figure, but he's become sort of a phenomenon in and of itself. I don't think that Michigan baseball has that. For all the crap you want to give him, he's still been a good player for Michigan at the absolute least. Led him in points and rebounds for the past 3 seasons from the second he stepped on the court. He's been a little underwhelming, but he's been good.
Right, but who's the Hunter Dickinson on Michigan baseball?
I just said that. I'm not really tapped in yet. I'll think about it.
Okay. Just wanted to know. But yeah, that was the thing for me, was that I took away a lot that Tampa Bay decided that they had to go to a level to play that game, and you saw the difference. And even their non-star. I mean, is Point a star? Is Braden Point a star?
Absolutely.
I mean, in the pantheon, though, he's not like a Kucherov or anything like that.
Wait, are you talking like he's the next level? Like, he's a star. He's an all-star. He's a superstar. He's not the elite of the elite.
Right, and
like,
that's my point. Like, their guy, though,
Kucherov and McDavid and whatever. That's like
stratosphere guys.
10 greatest.
Yeah.
He absolutely. He's one of the guys that stirs that drink over there. Right, he's the motor, right? He's a great player, but you can't win without him.
Right, and 100%. And you saw the point of the story is Kucherov, Point, Vasilevsky. Those are 3 dudes that the Red Wings do not have.
Yeah, and
they don't.
And look at their defense, Hedman.
Nobody ever talks about him, dude.
Well, that's your most side. That's the epitome. Like, if you look at the Tampa team, you look at the goalie. And speaking of that, small props, I think Sebastian Costa down in Grand Rapids is 3 shutouts last 9 games, 946 goals against. I think he's let 2 goals in 111 shots. You got a guy that Stevie's looking at as the Vasilevsky. Mo Seider he's looking at as the Hedman. Like, you got to plug and play these guys, right? Larkin's your Stamkos. You look like that. You're still looking for your Kucherov, right? Maybe it was at one time you thought maybe Vrana had the ability to get there, but maybe not. But you look in other places. So plug and play, you're a lot closer than you were even earlier this season.
Yeah, Brandon Katz says the Tampa game showed Detroit's ceiling. There's a big gap between Detroit and the rest of the best teams in the East. I don't think anybody disputes that. To me, though, it solidifies the process. It solidifies what they were 2 years ago, what they were last year, and what they are this year. So I'm on board. So everybody stop with the whole trade deadline stuff. I'm not interested. Again, there is nothing out there, D-Mac, that I'm interested in.
My question is, do you think that are they one move away from winning a Stanley Cup?
No way.
Absolutely not. So wait until you are that, right? You know what I mean? There's no reason to mortgage any of the future. And you watch all around, because what's going to happen? Stevie's going to sit there with the weaponized salary cap, and somebody's going to panic, right? And pick up the phone and do something real stupid and call him. And not for a trade, but to make the money work, and it's only to solidify getting better going into next season and moving forward.
And that's really all I want to see. What do you got, Spenmo?
I was just going to say Michigan State baseball beat Michigan baseball already this year, 15-8.
Suck it, Sam. What do you got to say about 15-8?
You guys 15-8.
Oh, man.
Just give him one.
You guys suck.
To the victor goes the spoils. It's okay.
No, but D-Mac, that's what I want to see. Like, that's what I'm looking for.
So we're getting closer to, and trust me, we'll tell you when that season, and it's coming closer, right, to where we're going to be sitting here at this point, going into the trade deadline, going, who's that one move? What's that one move to be made? And I firmly believe it doesn't matter how big that move is, we would be able to make it if that's what the move's supposed to be.
I almost want to see us be a third wheel to make something to make something big happen between two other teams, where we step in, because we have to be the financial facilitator.
Right. That's what I want everybody to pay attention to. That's how you would be involved in a big deal this year, because you got the money. You're the banker.
Right.
You can move things around, and then it only makes you better. What happens when you go to the bank? They take the interest. Right? Somebody's going to overdraw, and you're going to get that non-sufficient fund fee, right? Going right into Stevie's account. Stevie's the bank, baby. That's what you want right now, because you know what? He's saving all his chips for when he wants to spend it to get you that Kucherov, to get you those guys over the top.
Until it's time, and Brandon Katz talks about it, and I sent out a tweet about this. He says, Toronto's a very young team. Marner and Matthews are very young. Toronto will be good for a long time. Well, Brandon, Matthews is free agent.
Where's the money, though? It doesn't matter how young these guys are. Yeah. Look at where the contracts are, and look at where the money is, and how you have to allocate and move the money around, because we are dealing with the cap.
And that's the time frame, right? Matthews free agent coming up after next year.
He's gonna be wearing a wheel pretty soon.
And the Red Wings are the boss. If it's about money, Stevie Y can make him choke on a contract, because he's got the cap space. He's got the ammo. That's why like this whole trade deadline stuff, everybody, just let him cook. Just let him cook, because he's proven that he knows what's up with it. We are
Chris Cote, a lot of people I see this saying Matthews is going back to Arizona. That would be terrible for the NHL.
He ain't going back to Arizona. That's a freaking dude. No way.
Playing in a college stadium.
No, but even to the fact that there's nothing there.
Yeah.
He can't save anything. And I think at the point that if he hasn't won and hasn't gotten there in Toronto, he's going to be looking to win at that point in his career.
Just let Steve cook.
Put him in a wheel.
Like if I'm going for lunch, you know who I want to see cook?
Cousins Maine Lobster is who you want to see cook, because they're cooking up, and they're one of the best at it, and you can vote for them right now, because Cousins Maine Lobster Food Truck is up for Food Truck of the Year. Make sure you go vote for them at freep.com, Best of Detroit, and follow them on Facebook.com/CML Detroit for your chance to win a $300 Visa gift card if they win. Make sure to try Cousins Maine Lobster today. Scan that QR code on the screen right there to figure out where they'll be next, or order online ahead and earn rewards. Make sure you check them out. It's Cousins Maine Lobster.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some sense round in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh, wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
What's going on, Guardian Alarmer? Here to offer you customized solutions from real expert professional technicians. Take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. But I need you to call today. The number 1-800-STAY-OUT. 24/7 professional monitoring. Call anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. But I need you to call the number 1-800-STAY-OUT. Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserve technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care about whether it's business or personal. Like Sam Flannel, that Bozo Bayless's flannel collection. How many straight days of flannel collection?
221.
221 straight days. If you have something that needs protected as much, please give Guardian Alarm a call today. 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Stay at the Chrysler Center, Wisconsin. Enjoy the NIT.
Guardian Alarm, local security experts. Tell them, Big D Energy, we sent you.
On and pushing, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter as well. Remember, tap into the podcast page wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe to Big D Energy Podcast. Leave a review if you're so inclined. Go ahead and do that as well. You can rewind, fast forward, go back, listen to stuff you missed, and it goes right to your phone. You don't have to do anything. If you're lazy like me, it's perfect. So it is right there for you. Wherever you get your podcast, tap in. And like, we haven't gotten into it here on this show so much, but I do want to get into it now. The whole Jalen Ramsey phenomenon. And we've seen this play out publicly on social media. You have Lions players actively recruiting. And this is something where I'll lean on Spenmo a little bit. He's a little more attuned to being in the streets. And right, what gives it life are the Lions players, Amon-Ra St. Brown and all these players that are tweeting about Jalen Ramsey and would it be a possibility and all that kind of stuff. Here's my question, because you guys know where I'm going to go with it. You absolutely know. Okay, fine. I'll play along for a couple of minutes. Spenmo, what's talked about? Give me the for instance in terms of what this would take to get it done. Then I'll tell you my level of interest with it.
So you got to think, you're looking at when you traded Darius Slay, or you got rid of Darius Slay, you got in return a third and a fifth.
Okay.
And they're the same age. They're both 29. Darius Slay was 29 when he got traded. Jalen Ramsey's going to be 29 if he gets traded this year. Jalen Ramsey's a little bit higher on the pecking order than Darius Slay was. So for me, I'd say it'd probably be a second and a fifth to get the deal done to get Jalen Ramsey on whatever team goes for it.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
First, before we get into this, does the money work?
Well, that's the thing. We're gonna take a look at it.
Isn't that the first question? Right? Does it work with the money? We talk about the money in the draft and whatever like that. Shouldn't we go there first to see if you want to put, because this is putting eggs in a basket, isn't it?
I can make.
Like you,
I can
so
make
you
the
can
money
make
work.
the money work.
I can make the money
so I guess
work.
that's what we need to know first, because if it's a pipe dream and not making it, but it's going to come with some concessions, I guess if I understand,
it'll come with some casualties.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If I understand what the casualties are to bring this on, then it gives me the decision. But the fact, first of all, like we just talked about Iserman, you could make this work.
There's a path to make it work.
So that's why we're talking about it, right?
And Spenmo, now, here's why I didn't immediately hang up the phone. Because Spenmo came at it for real. Like Brandon Katz says, it would take a first-round pick to get Ramsey. No, it would not. And here's why, guys. Stay with me here. You talked about the Darius Slay thing. Mm-hmm. Darius Slay was not a $25.5 million cap hit at the time.
Yeah.
And if you want to back it up too, what was the package that they gave to the Rams. They gave him a first-round pick and a fourth-round pick. That was when Ramsey was young and a $2.5 million cap hit.
Best cornerback in the league. Yeah.
End of story.
Yeah.
So yesterday's prices are not today's prices. Nice. And it's not. That's a great line, by the way.
Great line.
Shout out Joik Bell.
Yesterday's prices
are not today's prices. The cap hit, relieving yourself of the cap hit is the value in it all, and relieving yourself of the contract. See,
no, I get it. So you're saying it would be less. It would be like
there will be no first round picks, not if I'm GM.
But it might be like a third and a fourth.
Well, I mean, depending.
Something along those lines, because you're picking up the money that you're taking off their books, right? The fact that you're taking $25 million that they can go elsewhere to do, that's sort of, you're alleviating not only with the talent. So that's why. So to argument's sake, if he was a $15 million player, then it might cost you first rounder.
Yes.
Correct.
Right? But he's a 25.
He's a $100 million contract guy.
Right. So does that mean second, or does that mean like third and a fourth, or a second and a fourth?
Whatever. Second, fifth, third.
But it's not as valuable because you're going to take the money.
It's not first round pick stuff.
Right.
No way, no how.
Because the money's because of the contract.
Because of the contract and the damage it does to you. And look, I know Brandon's going to go off on a tangent here. What teams are sitting around outside of like the Bears and the Falcons that can just absorb a $25 million cap hit and keep it pushing?
Not a lot.
Not a lot, man. So, and I see people asking for it. So, all right, let's do it then. Let's go down this road. As the Lions sit right now, there's 23 and some change in cap space. Now, keep in mind, you got to sign your draft class. It's a 10-ish million proposition. And keep in mind, you have 2 first-round picks, so your draft class is even more expensive, right? Just because they're picks, you still got to pay them. And if they're first-round guys, they're going to do all right for themselves, not the hamstring it used to be. So, we would have to make a pathway. And do you guys want me to? You want to be entertained with Spenny first before we try to make this path? I'm leaning towards that. I want to hit this one to spend.
You're driving, bud.
You're driving.
You're driving. I'll pull in the nets.
What if because here's where look, I'll say Spenmo. I won't even address Easy in this because Easy's not capable of understanding this. Here's where the versatility of Jared Goff comes into play, Spenmo. And if he's your dude, sigh again. Come on. Yeah. If he's your dude. And I don't know the answer to this, but if he's your dude, and we put it in a chat poll last week, right?
Yeah.
Like 90% of people said he's your dude. Did they not?
Surprise, surprise.
They did. Okay. If he's your dude and you're going to extend him, that's a pathway that you can use. And you can extend him, and you can convert salary to signing bonus. You can do all those things. And you could juice it out the same way. And then all of a sudden, too, but that would hype Easy up because now you're going to tag Goff for like 8% of your cap instead of like 13. So Easy all of a sudden would love it. He'd say it's a great deal.
I don't think Jared Goff's doing that.
Yeah, he won't care because he'll get the money up front.
But
you'll pay for it later.
He's going to want more and more money.
But that's fine.
If he sees fucking Daniel Jones get $45 million a year.
Right. But I'm saying, though, that's fine. You see what I'm saying? Like that's fine because if he's your dude, and that's market value, it is what it is,
but
man.
Aren't we talking right now more or less how we're talking about the wings? They're like the Lions aren't one player away. Like if they were Jalen Ramsey away, then this would almost be sort of a no-brainer to figure it out. But we're still more than these pieces away. So, as much as it would be great to have that talent, I don't think we're there yet, Neal. It's sort of like Brad Holmes and Steve Yzerman are just sort of on their path. I think that you have to entertain it and see everything else, but it really doesn't fit because of the money and the position, and doesn't take you to the Super Bowl or the conference championship. Maybe it helps you get to the playoffs, but I think a lot like the Wings is that they're just not there yet, right?
Which is where I lean with
it. That's what I think.
But I'm trying to be for the people here. Everybody wants us to go down.
No, I get it. But it would come. So you mentioned so say Goff did or he didn't, but you said there'd be casualties. So who are guys that would be casualties to bring this on, right?
Yes, because that's where we go. And I know the easy ones, right? Like the people do the Vitae that'll save you 7. And under this theory, Aquara's gone. I know. Spenmo, you were like, I'm not ready to give up yet. You are now. That forces your hand, right?
One of Harris or Aquara is gone, I think, regardless.
They're both going to have to be gone.
Yeah.
And Robert Colosia, and again, I don't portray to be like a capologist for the NFL, so I don't have all the answers. And Robert brought a great point too. There's only 47 guys on the roster, so there's 4 more you got to sign right there, or 6 more you got to sign right there.
Yeah, but you got to think Jamal Buggs and Kaminsky will all be back.
Right, but you do have to sign them.
Yeah, there's money that gets taken away.
And we're trying to get to a point where we can take on this Rams. See, this is why the first round.
But when he gets traded, he'll only be a $5 million cap hit this year.
Is that what the number turns out to be?
Yeah, this year, and then next year it hits 26 or whatever.
Yeah, 27 next year, right? Because they got him on the books this year as a $25.2 million cap hit for the Rams. This year.
Yeah.
So I don't know like the language in it to where that changes.
So talk about new information, right? If you can make a trade for him and him only be a $5 million cap hit for like the next season, like that's got to be more intriguing.
Yeah, but my question is like, give me the math on like how does that work out?
I hope that wasn't easy math, was it?
No, it's because all the the Lions, if they trade for him, would only have to pay the roster, like on roster bonuses, his pay, his weekly pay and shit like that. They wouldn't have to give. The Rams would deal with all the backloaded stuff they paid and all the dead cap that they already have to pay for him for this year. The Lions are off the hook with like the dead cap for this year.
Okay, so my guess would be then too, this would have to be a post June 1st move.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the timeline of looking like. That's a post June 1st, so bonuses get moved around and stuff like that. Okay, I understand it, to some degree more. So
does it make it more enticing?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, which I would think it would lean that way because there's more flexibility, and especially like what opens my eyes is the window we're at. Right, and I could say, yeah, we're building, but this NFC North, where we all have these expectations of winning this division, right? Is it the 2-year window that these guys see that they can make these moves? So I think just being in the conversation.
What about this too? Because Joey 2 times says it doesn't matter. Again, Ramsey wants a restructure. You're not getting Ramsey that cheaply. That's his contract, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's your contract. Like, you can want a restructure all you want. And I'm sure, and there are those angles too. And here's where, D-Mac, to go back to your point a little bit, where you can do some math with Ramsey's contract too, in the same way you can, like the Chiefs are going to do with Mahomes.
Absolutely.
Mahomes this year has a $35 million roster bonus due. But they're going to convert that to a signing bonus and stretch that out over 5 years. You can do that with Ramsey once you get him here. You can do that. So there are some moves you can make, but still though, with all that being said, when you look at guys that you got to take the scissors to, you do have to make moves in order to make this work, especially too with your 2 first-round picks and everything like that. I lean towards that the timing's not there yet with that. But I mean,
but you never know. Something could happen. There could be some mixing around, like there are some pots and pans shuffled around in the kitchen, right? You're in the conversation. And I think that's the start.
But see, and I guess I got to figure that out for myself, right? Because when you start boiling this down, if you are, I got to be consistent and believe what I say. If you're the betting favorite to win a division, and i.e. get a home playoff game,
you're top 5 to win the NFC.
Then it is time,
right? But that's I think. And that all goes back to look at the things that you're hearing out of Allen Park. We talked earlier about Aaron Glenn being extended on defense. Obviously, you talk about Ben Johnson coming out and saying, it ain't pre-algebra, it's calculus. Like the next level thing. So, Neal, maybe on more to that this is a conversation that's going to continue to come up. So we wouldn't expect anything till after June 1st because of where the contract and the salary is, but it's something that the buzz is around. And the biggest thing, I don't hear the player or the player's agent or anybody naying any of the things coming out when these guys, when the Lions guys who say this, right? And it sounds like the message is, hey guys, out of Allen Park to the organization is, hey, who do you guys want? Talk. There's respect there, and you're in the conversation, and that's different.
That is different, but let me tell you something that is back and is not different. It's always been the same as you know it. Seafood Fest at Big Boy. Catch it while you can. Some of the favorites during Lent, the shrimp Alfredo, the shrimp stir fry, the all-new fish sandwich. And don't forget the all-you-can-eat fish fry buffet on Friday nights. Hey, make sure you get in front of the line in front of Spenmo.
Facts.
Because he's going to be putting in some time. He's going to be putting in some work.
Facts.
He's going to be putting in some effort. He's going to go there with people, and he's going to get up and leave, not because he's full, but because the other people at the table are bored, and they've been sitting there for 40 minutes, and they're like, Spenmo, can we leave? And you'll say, one more trip. Just make sure in front of line of Spenmo at Seafood Fest.
Miss out on some hush puppies.
Yeah, smashing them.
Oh, yeah.
Like, let's be real. Get it in.
I love hush puppies.
All you can eat fish fry buffet Friday nights at Big Boy. Get to your local Big Boy today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
When it comes to making your haircut truly an experience, there's no better place than Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to any one of our 26 Metro Detroit locations for an award-winning haircut experience and qualify for a chance to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Our precision haircut and talented stylists will have you looking good, feeling good, and give you a chance to change your life forever. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Ruhl here for Chili Peppers Tanning, where you find the cleanest salons in the D, spotless sanitized rooms, and trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club. Get all the best deals. They'll beat competitors' prices by at least $5. And you can pick up the Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Cal Tan, and Spencer Raxter's favorite Swedish Beauty Lotions.
Oh, yeah.
Go to ChiliPeppersTanning.com. Find out which one of the 27 locations work best for you. Chili Peppers Tanning, the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, and the darkest tans. All for you at Chili Peppers Tanning.
Chili Peppers Tan.
Yay. Pulling up on the second hour of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. If you're just tapping in, you missed the first hour, perfect. Subscribe to the podcast page, wherever you get your podcast, the Big D Energy Podcast. You can rate it and review it if you want as well. Feel free to do that. But we're talking the Jalen Ramsey thing. I know everybody talks about it in theory. We don't do theory around here. We do real life. Rubber meets the road. Hey, I was sharing with the guys here, D-Mac. Horizon League tournament starts Thursday night. I'll be out. I'll be out on Thursday. We have to go to Northern Kentucky to play Northern Kentucky in the first round for a spot in the semifinals in Indy. And I'm ecstatic because the Horizon League men's basketball tournament is sponsored by Barbasol. Kevin Harlan is one of my all-time favorite announcers.
Westwood won.
And for once, for one night only, hopefully more than one night.
Hopefully more than one
but
night.
Guaranteed one night, I get to do commercials for Barbasol like Kevin Harlan. Close Shave America. Close Shave Barbasol. I can't wait.
Only on Westwood 1. Love it.
Wrapping this Jalen Ramsey discussion up, Native Thunder says, okay, so we go after him when we get him for next year, and then he's at the end of his contract, so what does that leave us? Well, Jalen Ramsey, as he sits right now, is signed through 2025. 24 and 25 are the big cap hits. Or excuse me, 23 and 24 are the big cap hits. 25, it's less. It's around $23 million. And there's only $3 million of dead cap. So theoretically, if it didn't go well in the 25 season, you could cut them and save $20 million on your cap that year. So there's flexibility once the heavy lifting's done. You see what I'm saying? Which is why I like Goff's contract.
Right.
The heavy lifting's over. So, you'll have them for a couple years.
Which, here's the thing, too. Let's, break this down with, right? If Goff is your guy, and Spenny, where you brought up a point about if he sees Daniel Jones making this much money, he's going to want it. I don't know that that's the case as far as if there's a conversation of what's being built over there where guys will have, I believe that there is a conversation, like there was a conversation in our Red Wings locker room back in the day where, there was sort of a fall in and they call it the hometown discount, and I don't think that is, because I think you're going to get your money in this case. But you look at what Kansas City's done. Look at what their players done, and we mentioned Patrick Mahomes. There's versatility into some of these contracts. So if this is a piece that they think might get them over the edge no matter what in these next 3 years where the window's open, this might be more of a reality because everybody will be working together. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And that's what I see, and that's sort of what I hear with Anthony Lynn's contract extended, with the new contract for Ben Johnson, with just it's a team. And I said it last year, what Dan Campbell's created, not an offense, a defense, and a special teams, 3 different units. It's the whole team. This is part of the whole team process. So we'll have to wait and see. But it's exciting. The more we dig into it, Neal, the more realistic that it could be.
Right. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. CJ Schneider says Ramsey's hit over the next 3 years is 17, 18.5, and 19.5. No, that's Jalen Ramsey's cash that he's getting. He did a restructure to his contract that kicked on another $3.2 million every year of the deal, along with the signing bonus that got stretched out. When he signed his deal, it was 5 years, almost $72 million of it was guaranteed. So you're looking at the cash he's getting. What you're doing right now is being easy. You know what I'm saying? That's the cash. The cap hit is the number that you're going to absorb as far as against your salary cap. So that's where it is. But yeah, and I do like that, but it is out there for you. And like now, what I like about the discussion we're having, Spenmo, is now people are talking about the validity of Ramsey. Philippines on demand. I don't want Ramsey or Wagner. Stay the course. And there is a segment, and I'm curious where you are at it, Spenmo, because now you kind of heard me. I'm not saying I'm anti it. Mm-hmm. I'm giving you the case as to why I'm not as interested as some people are. And I know it's a downer, and I know that it's cheap old Neal doesn't want to spend money on everybody. It's just for me, Spenmo, and yes, they have a lot of space in 24. That's why I'm kind of a little more open to it than I might be.
Yeah.
Now that we've laid this out, like the realistic angle of it, where are you with it?
I'd still want it to happen. I'd love to get Jalen Ramsey. I think getting Jalen Ramsey puts you top 3 in the NFC.
Really?
When you're top 3 in the NFC, anything? Yeah, they're top 5 now.
Which is to be fair, they were the worst in the NFL at get off on third down rate.
Adding Jalen Ramsey, you still got 2 first-round draft picks to add. Like, I understand where Lions fans come from, like, stay the course, stay the course, stay the course. But you look at what teams do when they're there. They go all in, they buy all. So you have to pick a side. Like, do you think the Lions are going to win the NFC North? Do you believe the Lions have top 5 odds to win the NFC? Because if you do, you're there.
You're in.
You're there, and you got to go.
And I can't crush you for that,
There's
Spenmo.
one question I need answered. Does he want to be here? And if he wants to be here, I'm with Spencer, because for him, with the fact of this is the NFL, what do we hear? In 2-3 years, you can turn it around. So to Spencer's point, you have to take those shots on those guys. But if he wants to be here, what does he mean to the rest of these guys that we have? The Jerry Judys, the Joseph, the all these defensive guys, even to the Akudas, right? Is this somebody that behind the scenes, Jalen Ramsey saying, I can help this guy? We don't know this, but the number one thing to me is if Jalen Ramsey wants to be here and part of this, we've seen how he can play when he wants to be a part of something, like he was part of that championship for the Rams. So, you know what? It's funny because I'm leaning. Whereas when we started, it was like, okay, we're in the conversation. But if they did make the move, it makes more sense. And the fact that I have full trust in Brad Holmes, knowing that if the money works or not, or if this is in their plan, if they make this move, then this was part of the plan.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Number one is does he want to be here? And if he wants to be here, then I'm not worried about the money and ain't worried about 3 years down the line. I'm getting ready now. And whether it's this year or it's next year, he's going to help me win.
Yeah.
Broncos 81 says it's time to have some expectations about this team. And that's going to be an overriding theme, too, that as we go through the summer, like it's setting in. And these discussions are all the more the reason why it's setting in. Joey 2-time says, you don't understand. Ramsey is saying, pay me more money or I'm going to hold out. It doesn't matter if you traded for Ramsey. He is still demanding a new contract. Then I'm out. That's easy.
Yeah, right. He wants to be here. If he wants to play ball. That's it. If he wants to his own thing, then no skin off my back. Somebody asked the fact that you think that he's here to mentor kids. Like, what I'm saying is that he's got a Super Bowl ring, right? He's a little bit older. His things might have changed, or they might not have. And if they haven't, then we don't need it. But if they have, you have to kick the tires.
Absolutely. And that's where it is with me. I'm just not in the business. The first round draft pick stuff, nope.
Yeah, that's not happening.
I'm not. And again, this is with Steve Yzerman as well. I believe the biggest asset in this Lions franchise is Brad Holmes with a draft pick. That's what I feel. This organization is at its most dangerous when Brad Holmes has a draft pick. Much like people would say, well, when you throw a deep ball to Jamison Williams, or you let Aiden Hutchinson, get after the quarterback off the edge. I still think the most dangerous aspect of this team is Brad Holmes with a draft pick.
Yeah.
And I'm not in the business of taking that away.
Until he proves you wrong.
And he's only proved me right so far.
That's what I'm saying.
That is absolutely it. I'm in the mood. Yeah, I want to do some more draft. I want to do some more draft talk. Maybe it's lunchtime. Maybe we can talk about turkey and Swiss sandwich first.
We can't talk about turkey and Swiss sandwich, but we can talk about Swiss insurance, of course. Be sure to check with Swiss Insurance this week for your commercial insurance review. Swiss can help make sure you have the proper coverage. Swiss Insurance, give us a shot and you won't be disappointed. Email them at mark@swissins.com. That is mark@swissins.com.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Keeping it pushing. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Every day, 11 to 1. Jump into that woodwardsports.com chat thread. Subscribe to the podcast, all the podcast platforms. You can rewind, fast forward. Do it on your terms, whenever you want to listen to it. I don't care when you listen to it, as long as you're listening to it. If something jumps in your head, send one of us a tweet. Even if it's 1 a.m. I won't respond then, but I'll get to it eventually the next day when I wake up. So any way you want to interact, I promise you guys this, any way you want to interact with the show, I'm here for it. We'll get to it, especially if it's a good point. Or even if you're like Sam Flannel and you got a bunch of dumb points, we can do that too. That guy's 62. Forgive my language. I effing love draft talk. I'm an NFL nerd. Then let's keep it pushing. Let's keep it pushing. Spenmo's got a good one here. Lions and trading back. What would it look like? And when I was at Planet Fitness this morning, Monday's a little 4-miler, D-Mac, so it's only about 36 minutes on the treadmill.
You feel like you're cheating sometimes?
Yeah, with a little 4-miler, I do. I do.
You can't bitch and moan.
No, but it's like it's a lift day, so we don't, we're not going to bang out a 10K on a lift day. But anyway,
I understand.
Here's the deal, and this kind of popped in my head, and it spins in really nice with what it would look like to trade back. Because you know me, backing up my last statement before we went to commercial, the most dangerous aspect of this Lions team is Brad Holmes with a draft pick. So I am always team move back. Because if the most dangerous part of this team is Brad Holmes with a draft pick, what's even more dangerous?
Give him more.
You know what I'm saying?
More bullets in his gun.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all
Ask
the more.
Him what kind of gun he wants to fire. We all play Call of Duty, and you get a choice, a plethora.
I am even in team trade back for less than book value. You know what I'm saying?
Because your guy will make up the value.
My weapon will make it work, no doubt. For me, I saw this when I was running on the treadmill when I was, I see the TV screens up there. And the Chicago Bears are already doing the due diligence. They this morning came out and said, look, we're open. The shop's open.
Yeah.
And the number 1 pick, we're looking to move. They said it. They said it publicly. They're trying to drive up value, obviously. D-Mac.
Yes, sir.
I am team trade back for the Lions, and I don't care who the partner is, and I don't care what the package looks like, unless, and I'm seeing a pathway for it, guys, my Jalen Carter or Will Anderson dream has a heartbeat. It has a pulse. Because what I'm looking for is I don't know, Vegas, I don't know, Carolina, to ring the Bears phone and say, we want whoever your quarterback is, whoever your number 1 overall quarterback is. And I'm seeing a pathway, D-Mac, and if it's somebody below us, we're going to get home. And we're going to get one of these guys.
Because you think 4 quarterbacks?
I think
the 4 quarterbacks and you're going to get dropped?
There's a pathway.
There's a pathway.
I'm not calling for it, but there's a pathway.
But while we're sitting here and it sounds like you're saying I'm going to entertain anything going backwards, wouldn't you entertain anything moving forwards to get one of these guys if this was your guy too? So, again, I view Brad Holmes in the NFL draft like I view Steve Yzerman controlling the Red Wings, right? It's like whatever he wants to do, he's going to know better. Like, there's no more playing your hand, signing a backup quarterback the day before the draft when you got a 3rd overall pick and you're going to pick a cornerback. Those days are done. This is the greatest GM in Lions history. I mean, you heard media legend Terry Foster even said so.
Yeah.
So whatever he wants to do. This is where you go into the table, just like we go with Steve Yzerman in the draft and going, oh, somebody's going to get it. Somebody's going to get it because we're going to get the guys we want, and if we move, it's something that's going to benefit us. So to your point, think about what you just said. I don't even need market value because I got the guy that's going to get it. And realistically, right, if you were going to drop back or whatever and pick up Carolina at 9, isn't that the one that's sort of seeping out right now?
And Vegas now too, right?
Well, Vegas, they're going to do something stupid.
100%.
Right? There's 3 teams that are always going to panic, right?
Absolutely. And because here's kind of my thing is with the Cardinals, the one that goes and moves, say Carolina does the deal with Chicago to get their quarterback. We talk about Vegas doing something stupid, so they're like, oh my God, we got to get a quarterback. We got to call the Arizona Cardinals and get our quarterback that we like. You see what I'm saying?
Somebody breaks the levee every time, and then everybody panic. Like 3 or 4 teams panic. The fact that I don't think Brad Holmes is going to panic either which way it goes, and it could go a bunch of different ways, right? We don't know, but the fact is the guy who's in charge. So, it's up in the air. It's interesting, but the fact is the phone's open.
I know, and that's what it is. I am team trade back, Spenny, unless One of my two guys are there. What do you feel? What do you feel about my little theory there?
I
know you love it.
I'm with you. Yeah,
but it's plausible.
I'm with you. I like it. It is plausible. You see those three teams under the Lions all want quarterbacks.
Yes.
Vegas, Carolina, and Atlanta, they all want quarterbacks. So one of them is going to trade up and get in there. So that's just another guy off the board that's not going to take Jalen Carter or Will Anderson. And like D-Mac said, if it keeps on raining, the levee's going to break. And when those 4 quarterbacks all go in the top 5, it just guarantees you one of the 2 best defensive players in the draft.
And I saw, speaking of the shows I was watching this morning, I saw a little blurb about Combine. And the Combine's this week. This is where this kind of all comes into play. The Combine's this week. Turn the Underwear Olympics on and let's go.
Oh, here we got the Underwear Olympics. Here we go.
Turn them on.
Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
He's going to light up the Underwear Olympics.
I can't wait. I'm here for it.
Raining, the levee's going to break.
Okay, but anyway, and here's the deal too, because I saw the talking heads talking about it, where concern about Bryce Young and the measurables, that's already baked in. You know what size he is.
He hasn't changed in this last year.
Yeah. This was a thing,
D-Mac. 5'6", 180 pounds.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know about what his size is. That's already baked into the price, dude. It reminds me of the people that, like, they buy and sell stocks based on, a tweet that somebody sent out that morning for something that already happened, that we already knew.
Yeah.
You already know. You know what he is. Get ready for all that stuff, by the way.
That guy 62 nailed it the best, right? We got to avoid the panic. We're usually always in the panic with the Lions or whatever. Let's just step aside and you're going to dictate. Like, you're sitting in a great position the more you break it down. So, again, can't say it. It's going to be exciting. But, like, I can't wait to, like, what is the... Tell me something other than Anthony Richardson, but something off the wall. Do you expect a guy who's going to athletically show out, right? Like, does Jalen Carter help his stock? Does Will Anderson help his stock at all? Or are they right where they're at? Is it the quarterback we're thinking, the Richardson?
Well, see, but if I'm those guys, I don't work out.
Right.
Only bad things
right?
can happen.
Like, or is it C.J. Stroud that's going to pop? Somebody up there. Do you expect the quarterbacks to pop?
That's what I need to see.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see, just to reinforce.
You want to see all these quarterbacks pop.
All of them.
Right?
Absolutely.
Where everybody's going, no him, and then your Brad Holmes going, oh, this is good. Right? 4 guys, because more reality of quarterback, 4 of them going in the top 4 picks, leaving you either Carter or Anderson.
Right. Let me see. What do we got? March 2nd. 3 o'clock to 8 o'clock, the defensive linemen and the linebackers.
Hell yeah.
March 3rd, 3 to 8. The defensive backs, the punters, the kickers, and the special teams.
Ooh,
I want Jake Moody to miss every kick.
Yeah.
I want him to miss every kick in the combine.
Saw an article today that Lions were thinking about kicker.
I love it. I love it.
You wrote it.
I gotta get the calendar synced up here. Let me see, because I'm going through it right now. March 4th, 1 o'clock to 8 o'clock, quarterback, wide receivers, and tight ends. And then March 5th, which is Sunday, offensive line and running back. Here's the deal, too. If Oakland wins on Thursday night, I'll be in Indy on Saturday. I'll be in Indy. I'll be at Ground Zero. Because somebody in here asked in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, who farted? Neal, you going to do live reactions to the Combine this week? Yes. Every day that I'm here, we will do it.
Oh, for sure.
I'll give you an overreaction to the NFL Combine. This will be our stage.
I love it.
To control and manipulate the market.
Mm-hmm. Deion Henley, he's gonna shoot up after his Combine numbers.
Not as much as Will Levis.
Yeah.
You know what? Hendon Hooker might have a huge day.
100%. The knee looks 1,000,000%.
Oh my gosh.
He may be in better shape now because they cleaned it up.
Oh, unbelievable! What the medical procedures can do these days. Get these guys back to 100.
I'll be standing outside of Lucas Oil.
Yeah.
And I'll get a video. We'll put it on the social channels. I'll say I was looking through the window, and when Will Levis overthrew that receiver, did you see how fast he threw it though? I know he missed him by 6 feet. But did you see the spiral on that miss?
That's fair.
Did you see it? I
But
heard it.
Hey, you know what? To his defense,
Sounds
I was
like
only
a
a
vortex.
college receiver. Wait till he gets to the pros. They're quicker. They can make up that 6 feet and catch the ball.
Yes, absolutely.
True.
Apollo, let's hype up all the quarterbacks. Oh, we've been doing it here on Big D Energy. Anthony Richardson is the next Josh Allen.
He's the next Tom Brady.
The next Tom Brady,
That can
except
run.
athletic.
Yeah, he's an athletic Tom Brady.
Even Sam Flannel's on board.
That's his draft comp.
Yeah, there was this, I think Maz sent it to us in the Ermanni and Edwards chat group. It just showed Anthony Richardson and all of his highlights and saying, get this man an offensive line and an offensive coordinator. And just watching him out there, it was just unreal. That man can run. He's got an arm. Anthony Richardson, next Josh Allen for sure.
1,000,000%.
Yeah, you've heard of Black Santa, but have you heard of Black Tom Brady?
Oh my gosh.
Let's go Red Wings Friday, says Neal, wearing all Lions gear at the combine like a scout and oohing and awing all the quarterbacks along.
Yeah.
Mike G says, Neal, will you wear underwear too? I'll get out there and run a 40. I'll do it.
With Rich Eisen?
Oh,
100%.
Neal Ruhl versus Rich Eisen in the 40.
Oh, you dust
You
Rich
crush
Eisen.
100%.
Yeah.
You crush them.
100% I
Yeah,
would.
but they don't know how many.
No, they don't know.
Pick it up, put it down every day.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. Woodward Sports will be the TMZ of the Combine. I will.
Yeah. Facts.
I'll do some live reaction if
It
I'm
would
there.
honestly, it would be so good if you wore Lions gear and went in there and we're looking at all the quarterbacks.
Make sure you got your. Make sure you got your. Yeah, you got your. What do they call that? Clipboard.
Yeah.
Make sure you got your
Yeah,
clipboard.
100%. And a stopwatch around my neck.
You need that one and just clicking.
That guy's 62. Please, Neal, do it. If I am there, I promise you, I will get some reaction videos outside of Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yeah.
Right there on the front door.
That'd be amazing.
Everybody root for Oakland Thursday night. Tap in so we can make this go. And especially on Sunday, too. Bijan Robinson reaction.
Yep.
All of it. God, I can't wait. We're going to do it. Combine. It's like being at Planet Fitness, more or less. The official studio sponsor of Woodward Sports. Home of the judgment-free zone where you can work out for just $10 a month.
Bless you.
Where your sneezing is essential. Or you can upgrade to the Black Card. Get unlimited guest privileges, access to over 2,000 Planet Fitnesses around the world, use of all the amenities, the hydro massage, and more. Join today in club. You'll pass a couple on the way home. Pull in the parking lot. Join there. Or go on planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, Darren McCarty.
Where your fitness is essential. Bless you.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Quick update. Detroit Pistons tonight playing at Charlotte. The biggest game of the regular season. I'll let you figure out the reasons why. They will not have Bojan Bogdanovic due to an Achilles. Jaden Ivey will be out due to personal reasons. Jalen Duren will be on the sideline as well. Putting the pieces in place to get the job done. And you know what I mean. But
Yourself
anyway.
the best chance.
Anyway, Charlotte Hornets, by the way, Spenmo, winners of 4 in a row. It's perfect.
They're hot.
Perfect timing. Absolutely perfect. I was getting concerned for a minute there.
Yeah.
But I'm not anymore.
No.
So we press on. Who farted? He gets it. Tom Brady wishes he was the first Anthony Richardson.
That's true.
The only question that we have, and we have to go to the source, will Sam Flannel say that Anthony Richardson is the, quote, luckiest quarterback in the world? And you would not say that because everything is apparent.
It's all skill.
Oh, man, this is so hard because, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I can't stand Anthony Richardson. I don't want it to be put on camera that I actually like this guy. He's one of the most overrated prospects of all time, completed 53.8% of his passes.
Turn him off.
No,
turn him off.
You know what? What do we just see here? Right?
It's about him. It's got to be about him all the time.
Sam Flynn. It's not about the team.
No.
And it's not about the process. It's more about him putting on camera his opinion, no matter what, is better for the team. It's very, very apparent. But didn't we learn that with this Hunter Dickinson take?
It's Anthony Richardson, though. He's like the bane of my existence.
He's like the best player in the world.
Yes.
So just get used
He's
to
the greatest college quarterback that we have ever seen.
He's like Cam Newton mixed with Tim Tebow.
With Tom Brady.
Yeah, mixed with Joe Montana.
And Joe Namath.
With Patrick Mahomes, his panache.
Yes.
Yeah, and his escapability.
Without the brother. Like, he's Patrick Mahomes.
He is.
He's Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, my gosh, without the family.
Yeah.
With all apologies to Lex Luger, Anthony Richardson is the total package.
Yes.
He is Lex Luger, the new age Lex Luger.
Yeah.
He's Patrick Mahomes without the brother.
Wow.
That's all I'm saying.
That right there is worth being the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Sam Flannel's speaking privileges on the show have been revoked, by the way, until further notice.
Individual.
D-Mac the GOAT.
Thanks, Jason.
Jason Moose.
Yeah. Patrick says kudos for dropping panache.
Panache is a good one.
That is a good one. So, that's what it is. You got to get it fired up. Who farted wants to know, Sam, you have the number 1 pick for your fantasy team. Anthony Richardson or Tom Kennedy?
God, that would actually never happen in a billion years. I'd choose Anthony Richardson because he's gonna.
You're gonna win 9 Super Bowls.
He's gonna have some rushing touchdowns for sure, and he might go somewhere where they're expecting to play right away.
Okay, that's enough, Sam Flannel. Thank you for your contributions. Trying to single-handedly derail the movement that we created.
Get on board or get left behind, Flannel.
And Sam Flannel's choosing to be left behind.
Yeah.
There's a show meeting after this show, by the way. Where we will have to discuss the future of Big D Energy.
Well, I don't think there's any talk. I mean, just go look in your locker. There's that pink slip, just like in training camp.
Yeah.
Bring your playbook.
Bring your playbook to the meeting.
To the office after the show.
Yeah. Get the camera crew in here. Get them all in here.
Need those skipper tears.
You realize you could save that take for the final word. This is all about team here. We're trying to make a movement.
Sapper 18 and Sapper, I haven't seen you before. Appreciate you tapping in. He gave you the pathway. Just say that AR 15 is greater than Ben Wallace.
No, I can't. You were talking about Anthony Richardson.
Ooh.
I've had to have so many battles on the Ermanni and Edwards show with Maz's show about him, and I can't.
Ooh.
Yeah, so support him here and crush him there.
Yeah.
It's different. We're on a movement here.
That's absolutely.
The kids, they just don't understand.
People are giving me criticisms for saying that he's comparing him to Joe Namath. I was talking about the moxie.
Yeah.
Like the swag.
Yeah.
The confidence.
He's obviously more Joe Montana than Joe Namath.
Right. Yeah. But from a swag and confidence perspective.
Broadway rich.
Yeah. He's going to guarantee a Super Bowl win that year.
And do it.
And when he walks across the stage at number 1.
Yeah.
You know what? Sam would have to pick Anthony Richardson because J.J. McCarthy wasn't available first overall.
It's true.
That's why.
That is true.
Yeah. J.J. McCarthy better than Anthony Richardson?
100%.
Not a chance.
Oh, come on. 100%.
That guy 62, Rain Prescott enters the chat.
All Rain.
Dakota Rain.
Yeah, all Rain.
Dakota Rain just sounds like a country song.
But it's Rain Dakota. Rain Prescott. I'm dropping the Dakota. Nobody calls anybody by their middle name.
Kentucky Rain, isn't that an Elvis song?
I don't know. I know there's my old Kentucky
just
home.
The fact that you dropped the Elvis reference, Spenny, just gave you some kudos.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kentucky Rain is an Elvis Presley song.
Look at you.
In the cold Kentucky rain.
Coldzilla says if Maz like Malik Willis, he's got to be bricked up over AR-15. We're all bricked up.
Yeah.
The entire National Football League is bricked up.
It's impossible to be unbricked. It is a consistent AR-15 brick. Yeah, it's just
all white bricks.
Look at the guy. All
white tan bricks.
White tan bricks.
Yeah. And then, what's good about it, if you can't get Anthony Richardson, you trade up to number 2 and you get Will Levis.
Lil Levis.
Yeah,
oh
true.
my gosh. And you still got
it's a win-win.
Petty, Stroud, all those guys. Maybe that's your flavor. But all four of those guys.
Now, if you're Sam Flannel and you're not an Anthony Richardson guy, that's fine.
Get Will Levis.
Get Will Levis.
Yeah.
And if you're the Cardinals, I know you have Kyler Murray signed for $1 billion for the next 30 years. Hey, then you step in and get C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
Pew, 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 explosive. Do we have that drop, Sam Flannel?
What's the shooter going to do?
Do we have that drop, Sam Flannel?
I got a little busy last week.
So we do not.
We do not have that drop.
Interesting. Make sure you make the meeting.
He took his talents to the final word last week.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Just a little sub action, that's all.
Pew, 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 pew.
Explosive.
Shooting his guns.
That guy's 62. Pew, pew. Oh, man.
Will Levis is the white chocolate AR-15, says Hofarded.
That's fair.
Yes.
Fair. I love it. And don't forget about C.J. Stroud.
Don't forget about him.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to... That's who they're moving up for.
Because you know...
That's who they're moving up for. Las Vegas Raiders.
No, they are. And that's what we have to do as a show, as a network. And like I said, if I'm fortunate enough to be in Indy next weekend, I'll be live on the scene. I'll be hyping it up.
We got to see you out front of Lucas Oil.
I will.
Raiders.
Right around the corner from the hotel we stay at.
You know, Raiders, Falcons,
Anthony Richardson
Panthers.
just threw it out of the building.
Yeah. I'll go to St. Elmo's and do an on the man, man on the street pull.
With your shrimp cocktail.
100%. What's better, this shrimp cocktail or Anthony Richardson
shrimp
at
cocktail
quarterback?
and a bourbon.
Yes.
And Anthony Richardson, I don't know.
I'd trade it all for Anthony Richardson. If the Lions could get Anthony Richardson.
What's the best bourbon that you like?
That I've had there. They have their own barrel of Old Forester single barrel.
Absolutely.
And it's incredible.
And Anthony
But I give it all up.
Blows that out of the water.
100%.
Neal, we need you to pose as a downtrodden, homeless man. So
And-
one of them will give you their coat.
Absolutely.
Anthony Richardson or Will Levis will give you their coat.
Oh, that would be sick.
Yeah.
We should set it up.
We should set it up.
And we'll do it for C.J. Stroud.
I'll be sitting in a van 2 blocks away and be like, all right, Neal, Richardson's on his way over. Go out, shake the can.
Well, they're all humanitarians.
Yes.
So.
Rack says this year's quarterback class is a reincarnation of the Four Horsemen. Legends in the making.
Yeah, facts.
There we go.
Facts.
He understands the assignment.
Yeah.
The
Sam
assignment.
Flannel does not.
No, he doesn't.
Nope.
That's why this is his final
you know
show.
why, Neal? Because our listeners, the chat thread, the Woodward Sports site, the people, because they care about the assignment. They understand we're all in this together. Sam Flannel? Wow. Island on his own. But what's new? You know what matters, though?
Uptime.
Not Sam Flannel. Uptime.
Anthony Richardson and uptime.
Anthony Richardson is the Alta. Yes, the Alta, because we know uptime matters and AR-15, he matters. Alta equipment has everything you need to get the job done, just like Anthony Richardson. You got a bog project coming up? If Anthony Richardson ain't out there helping you fill it, you can give Alta a call, because Alta Rent, they got you covered. Give them a call today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
You're about to be shell-shocked. The catch of the day is in. Big Boy Seafood Fest is officially back. Join us for some of your favorites like our popcorn shrimp and pike perch platters and our classic fish and chips. This year, we've reeled in some fresh catches like our shrimp Alfredo, shrimp stir fry, and our fish sandwich. And especially, don't forget about our all-you-can-eat Friday night fish fry buffet. Every day is a fish fry at Big Boy.
Hi, I'm I'm Dr. Jason Olafson, DC, the founder of the Custom Health Centers, and we've helped thousands of people learn how easy it is to lose weight and keep it off with our customized weight loss and body contouring programs.
With Custom Health, you don't feel hungry, you eat well. My name is Simeon Timbuk, and I've lost 71 pounds on the program.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
The Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck is the home of the original football bowling pig game called Foaling. Multiple different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play and private lane reservation for $120. I once heard Anthony Richardson went to the Foaling Warehouse and hit a strike every single throw.
He knocked down every pin in the whole building.
Every pin in the building, one ball. It was never been done before. So if you get thirsty, make sure you check them out because they got a $2 mystery beer vending machine that Anthony Richardson hits, and he gets top shelf beer every single time in the $2 mystery beer vending machine. Every single time. It's crazy. And they also have multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So make sure you go check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at thefoalingwarehouse.com.
When you look up at the walls at the Foaling Warehouse and the records, it's all Anthony Richardson. All of it. Will Levis in second in all those records.
I know.
That's what it is, guys. That's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to be. Joseph Lowry says, what about Max Duggan? He beat the piss out of the Michigan Wolverines. That was a great defense. I was told that was a great defense.
So it was a better defense than last year.
Right?
Maybe the sleeper of the draft.
Is that true, Sam Flannel?
Yeah, I mean, it still might have been better than last year, but TCU torched him. I've never denied that.
Max Duggan.
Hey, Max Duggan played a role. He played a role in torching.
Who would you rather have, Max Duggan or Anthony Richardson?
Max Duggan. Not kidding.
Way.
Not kidding.
Well, because you saw destruction.
I did. Happened right against my team. Burns in my soul to this day.
You're joking, right?
No.
Oh, guys, stop with this, too. Jeremy Anderson, not cool, Neal. That guy. Predetermined tone, Neal. That guy. Tone. No, there was no tone there. All I did was state a fact.
Sexual.
You don't like the tone of the fact.
That was not just factual. That was sexual.
Yeah. Absolutely. Here's something that's interesting, too. And Spemo had it on here. The Lions extended Aaron Glenn, right? I know this was, a few days ago or whatever. So that tells me, number one, it's going to be a multi-year extension, which is the power of interviewing. You look up the textbook. This is, Sam Flannel should take notes on this. This is leveraging a market, right? Like what we are doing. What we are doing. Aaron Glenn was able to leverage a market. Fair play to him. Props to him. That's the way this stuff works. I get it. Do you expect some big jump next year defensively, D-Mac?
No, I expect progress, though. I mean, and I don't think I can answer that to see what they do in free agency. I want to see the big thing. The big question for me isn't about if they trade for Jalen Ramsey or whatever. It's what they do in the middle. They draft the middle because linebackers are available, or they go out and they spend the money, on the linebacker instead of making the trade for the cornerback or whatever else. So I'm going to wait and see, but I expect them to be better. I mean, how can you not? With all the rookie guys and all the younger guys getting more experience. Yes, absolutely. And I think the system, the bend but don't break system, the fact, they know where they have to improve on, and I think they'll address it. So on both sides of the ball, don't you like to see when you've built momentum and you had going through that, both your offensive and your defensive coordinator had got interviews, so they got interest from around the league, but then they're back, and then there's a commitment from your organization to both these guys moving forward for not only the job done, but also what's expected moving forward. I like it. Doesn't mean we're not in the same position next year, because I expect them to be good and these guys to get offers also. We're going to be in this. We should be in this position where our coaching tree of Dan Campbell and stuff starts getting interviews, whether it gets plucked or not. So I'm going to wait to see, but I think everybody's expectations is you're going to be better.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. AJ Red Wing brings up a good point. What about Stetson Bennett? He owns the Big Ten in the playoffs, back-to-back national title. We may have our choice of Will Anderson or Jalen Carter.
Stetson Bennett, best collegiate quarterback of all time. Did it all himself.
Heisman finalist?
Yeah.
Stetson
finalist.
Bennett? Something J.J. McCarthy couldn't do.
But he's still got time.
He still has
Give
time.
J.J. McCarthy some credit. It's this year, right, Sam?
Absolutely.
Attaboy.
So there's that too, Stetson Bennett. So what are we at? We're at Anthony Richardson number 1. I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
Will Levis number 2, right?
C.J. Stroud 3.
C.J. Stroud 3 to Arizona because they're just going to say, hey, we got to have a quarterback too.
Yeah. Bryce Young 4.
Bryce Young 4. Then Denver, they got Russell Wilson.
They might as well get Stetson Bennett.
They'll take whatever quarterback doesn't exercise in the aisleway of the plane.
Hey, Neal, can you address this? Because I think David Gerard brings up a great point. I hope the Lions organization knows something about AG that most fans don't. With the extension, we'll see. So to the fact is that the people that are saying, I don't understand why I got this extension, to the fact that we trust in Brad Holmes in what's going on inside of that organization, that he's the right guy.
And Brandon Katz brings up a good point, too. The Lions extending Glenn shows the Ford family is listening to Campbell. And so there is that angle of it, too.
Yep.
Where you see them kind of be proactive in something like that.
This is something that, like, when this was done, it sort of made me feel better. Like, it's just sort of they're getting everything aligned. And then, I know we're talking about Aaron Glenn, but when Ben Johnson comes out and says, oh, yeah, you know what, like if last year was like prepping for a pre-math test or pre-algebra, this is like calculus right now. So, like the fact that they're around each other and it's the same coaching staff. I mean, I know we lost Deuce Staley, but you also, you're gonna lose some guys throughout the years, every year, but it's the system in place. And to the fact from the top, right? Sheila has to agree and there has to be communication. But again, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, this tells me on the right path.
Yeah.
To what they're building, to their path.
Yeah, and I'm just happy that with all these quarterbacks being taken, we'll have our choice of Jalen Carter or Will Anderson. And somebody will have to trade up with us to do it too, and we'll still get our pick. But, D-Mac, here's the thing too with the Aaron Glenn thing, and I know people are going to do this. I did some looking around and did some digging. In the last 11 games of the season, the Lions defensively gave up just 20 points a game. 20.2, I want to say. Just 20 points a game the last 11 games. It was in motion already.
Yeah, they went bend but don't break. They're giving up yards, and we saw that, but they were shutting and making those plays from Hutchinson to Houston, whether you're the line or stopping on third downs and stuff like this. But it changed. We know that it was different during the time that they were winning, right? So that's the expectation that I have, that they only continue to get better.
And that's where it was, and that number would put them 8th in the NFL in points per game. And that's all I care about. Like, people talk about the way you do it, like bend but don't. I don't give a shit.
No.
How many points are on the scoreboard when the game's over? That's what matters. The last 11 games, that's not nothing, man. That's a majority of the season. Did they get cooked at the beginning? Yes, they did. But for the last 11 games, if you stretch that out, that's 8. That's less than New Orleans. You see what I'm saying, man?
It's more
that's less than Pittsburgh. That's less than New England.
You know what's the big thing, Neal, is every time you bring up certain stats or stuff like this, how many more times than not are you talking about top 10, right? 10th in Super Bowl prediction, 5th in NFC or whatever like this. Yeah, going back to 8th in points against last year. The signs are there. The stats back it up that this team has improved, and they are getting to become one of the at least middle of the road, if not top 15 teams to top 10 teams. So the expectations, somebody says it every day, is that the expectations go up and our expectations go up. But I also think it starts there with the Lions themselves from Sheila on down, is those expectations have changed.
Yeah. And Brandon Katz says the Lions didn't play a single top offense the second half of the year. And Brandon, I would say, okay, well, San Francisco gets to play the Rams and the Cardinals, like the Seahawks with Geno Smith. They get to play them 6 times a year. So, if it's true for the Lions, it's true for the 49ers too. It is. And don't get me wrong. Nick Bosa is the best player in the National Football League. They're very, very good defense. But I'm saying, though, you can cherry pick anything you want to cherry pick. It's 11 games, man. Like, it's 11 games. That's real. I don't care what anybody says. That's real. Sorry about it.
Yeah, I don't want to get too technical, but it was actually the last 10 games. The game before that, they gave up 31 to Miami. But still, and they were 8-2 in those games, 20.2 points per game. That is, like you said, 8th in the NFL. I think what Aaron Glenn has to do this year, what he has to prove, is that now that he has more talent, now that the rookie guys have another year under their belt, that defense can't get off to such a horrible start. Because at the end of the year, despite how the team finished, the scoring defense numbers at the end of the year in the totality of the season still don't look pretty. But with the talent, with another offseason, I think that Aaron Glenn can get them playing better from the opening game of the season, unlike last year.
And it's there, man. It's in there. You see it. So that's the bottom line for me.
That's a great point. Is that there is no way in hell that they come out because of with the experience and what they have as bad defensively as they were last year. They were absolutely awful. When you're putting up 30, you score 40 points, you can't win.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that you nailed it, Neal. We've seen this in progress already.
Yeah, so it is. It's all set up for them, and it's fits to pop off. It's fits to pop off. When I read that and calculated that, I was like, damn, man. They're ready to go. I still can't wrap my head around it. It's going to take some time, guys. Sports Marketing Agency, they spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast is called This is the S Word. Helps fight the stigma associated with seeking help. If you're struggling or someone you know is struggling, go to thesportsma.com. Again, thesportsma.com, the Sports Marketing Agency. They're here to help.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, all here with you, chopping it up. Happy to have you along for the ride. And, just kind of wrapping the show up. Sam Flannel, we were talking about Big Ten basketball earlier. Is this the year? Is Purdue the hope? They going to come in and save the day, win a national title for the Big Ten?
It seems unlikely. I will say this, though. Besides for an Alabama for me, I think the field is wide open. But I would not bet anything on a Big Ten team winning it. Our only hope is Purdue and
Michigan, because you don't want any part of Michigan.
UCLA looked pretty damn good last night coming back from there. They were down to Colorado, and they came back and ended up stomping them. Bama looked good, too, though.
Yes, they do.
Brandon Miller, I'm drafting him. I'm drafting him, too.
The trousers are altering, aren't they? I'm with you.
It's crazy, man. When I look how long he is, I'm like, Jesus, dude.
And he's a 3.
Yeah, that is an NBA player.
NBA 3.
Mm-hmm.
Then we would have that. That's always been the one thing with the Pistons. Never had the 3.
No.
Never had the 3 that could go get you a bucket.
Yeah.
Or defend. You are what you can defend in this league. That's the position you are.
I'm taking him for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody have any faith in Houston? I think we've gotten to the point where, we've been at that point where Kelvin Sampson's going to Kelvin Sampson.
Yes.
He always does.
Well, if it's not now, then it's never, right? Like, this is as wide open as it gets.
Yeah, Jordan Poole had quite the moment against Houston a couple years back.
Another miracle that went in for you guys to save the day.
Should have been called off. He kicked the shit out of his leg.
Yeah.
Oh, stop it.
He did. No, I know. It was a great shot, but he did. You can't deny it. Like, watch he kicks his leg out so far trying to get the call, but it went in.
Well, but that's another example, kind of like Wisconsin did yesterday. Greg Gard should have fouled. Doug McDaniel was dribbling the ball up, and they let Michigan take that three. It's kind of like that.
Michigan State should have fouled too.
Absolutely. I don't know why coaches don't do that, but it's so satisfying too to see Wisconsin and Greg Gard just vomit all over themselves and make a terrible.
The music's dead there.
Yeah.
Once Ryan left, the music was dead there. Chuck Brewer says, Neal, Grant Hill says hi. All the three we had to trade to win a championship. That's right.
So disrespectful.
Is it factual?
Yeah, but he was one of the better players in the NBA in the 90s. That's factual.
And did trading him land a championship?
It was yeah.
Did it land a Hall of Fame player?
Shouldn't have, but it did.
Okay. That's all I can only go by what happened, Sam Flannel. That's all I can go by. DMAC tonight, Ottawa. Back-to-back games. The winter storm that canceled the game, the storm of the century for the month of December, that came through. Back-to-back games against Ottawa.
The storm of the century for the month of December.
Well, that's what it was. Remember that?
Yes.
Remember that bit? Right before Christmas it was. Somebody could have some damage done to them in these two games.
Well, absolutely. You look at I was just looking at the line, Detroit plus 115, and I believe coming off of the way that they played the other night, going into these two games, is that this is, if there's one of the games that they're going to win and give their best effort, it's this one tonight. They got an opportunity to keep on a roll, and a lot of times it's coming out of a loss. You got to look at the positives in the way that they played. So if they continue the shots on net, obviously Ottawa's not they give up over almost 3.2 goals a game. So this is an opportunity to Detroit. If they are a playoff team, they put these teams away. So I would take Detroit on the money line tonight.
Hellberg tonight, huh?
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Then it is what it. Yeah. So maybe back it off. Just bet half a shekel on that. But he played well. He deserves it. And you know what? Here's the thing. I don't care about that because it's flow. And the guys play well in front of him. They proved that last time he played in Calgary. So you know what? Confidence. They don't care. And they're going to go out and play well in front of him. Actually put double on it tonight. Double it up. Let's go. Hellberg for the win.
Chuck says, Neal, your statement, we never had a legit three, was not factual. Okay. Within the last quarter century. Is that fair then? It's in Spenmo's lifetime, is that fair?
Tayshaun was good, but I mean he wasn't a bucket. But
right, I'm saying like a today's three.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's got to be a 20-point a game guy in today's league.
Yes,
he's got to be. Yeah, but so give me the breakdown, D-Mac. You'll take two. You'd prefer three.
Yeah,
you'd alter your trousers with four.
Like it's like you get out of there with the wash. You're probably losing ground to everything else, so you need 3 to 4. You got the number one is worrying about this game. You go and win this game, it opens up things for you. Doesn't make it as imperative to win the night before. The bottom line, you can't lose both. You have to get points out of this.
Yeah, or
worst case is 2 points. And you're not dead, but if you're this good and you're feeling yourself and you're riding it, this is where you bury teams.
So you'll take 2, you need 3, you want 4.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
I want them all.
Well, I know.
6? Can I get 6?
No, you can't.
Okay. Well, I was going to take 6 if I could, but no.
Man.
I really need 2 tonight.
It's going to be so. D-Mac, you got these back-to-back road games as a beast. Tell the people.
But it is. But at this part of the season, when you're playing playoff hockey, your mentality's different. So yeah, you look at the whole schedule, but look at where we came from. Just did something 7-2 out of the 9 games that you never thought you'd be a part of.
Then home versus Seattle.
What will you worry about that later?
I'm just painting the picture. Then home versus Seattle on
Seattle
Thursday.
Just got pumped at home by Toronto last night. So you know what? Seattle's acceptable.
At the Islanders on Saturday, at the Flyers on Sunday. Who made that schedule? 3 and 4 nights? 2 on the road?
That's the whole league.
Then you got Chicago coming in, which is a non-negotiable. I don't care how you get it. I don't care
Who
if it
would be
goes.
interesting? Patrick Kane is now being seeded.
Yeah.
Looks like they're trying to trade him to the Rangers.
And then the home and home
Some
with the
people at
Bruins.
the Rangers game already had Patrick Kane jerseys.
Of course they did. You know why, though? Because they're real New York fans. Unlike those punks that go to Islander games in their little plastic arena that's in the parking lot of a horse track. That's what that is. And the Red Wings will get to play there.
Or Sir Jake.
Yeah.
Suck it, Jack Harrington. Yeah, that's your...
Saturday,
place.
March 4th. At the Islanders, you guys all get a look at it. It's a little plastic arena in the parking lot of a horse racing track. That's what it is. Hey, we'll be back at it tomorrow. For Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, in plastic arenas and parking lots in New York. My name is Neal Ruhl. Thanks for tapping in. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.